Back, welcome. So, today, I just realised my cursor's not followed. That's fine. We can work with that. So we've just had a nice hit of news, which has sent the markets on a massive one. As you can see, bad news for the shift pairs. Well, generally just for the Swiss franc. If we look at it's still going down. So we can see that we've kind of broke from where we was drawing yesterday. We're sort of picking up the foundations, supports resistance box basically. So you can see how news came out about the JPY this morning, early morning. We had two bouts of it. That's the sort of second round of it. So if we go check the morning, 4 o'clock this morning, 6 o'clock, 7:30, and then obviously 8 and 9 o'clock we've had 8:30 and 9. So we've had some big movements this morning. All in, it would appear it's bad for the Swiss franc. So from 8:30 up. I was in this trade earlier. Believe it or not, I went long here. And I closed at the top, at the close of this candle actually. So I caught a very small movement. I'm half glad I did because it plummeted. So we're doing all right for that. But I've only just got back to the desk, so we missed the move, which is sad because big money making opportunities there. But now the market's still kind of trying to recover. So I'm unsure and sort of a bit dubious about just jumping straight in to a trade off the first signals that we get. So there may be a little bit of just sort of sitting and chilling. I mean, this is still driving, but you can't trust it necessarily because we are at that point. Looking left, you can see, oh, it's following my cursor, that's good. Looking left, you can see we've had a small bounce there on the downtrend, but it's continued down. We've had a surge and a back up, but you can see that it's still fighting around this point with the long wicks. And then here we are, current still there. So we're going to see what happens. This is potentially going to close and have a little correction and come back down, I expect. The downtrend itself is quite, it's not necessarily strong, but it's broken these levels from here. In fact, it's at that level from here pretty much, which is the same again. So yeah, and that looks like red, new candle. We'll see if it stays red. So yeah, not really sure what I'm expecting from this. Probably going to be slow on intras. We might ignore a few if we get any. But let's just flick through the charts and see what we got. I was just thinking, I rewatched yesterday's stream as well, and it was not quite clear, to be honest. Like the text up here was quite blurry. It was almost as if it was at like 480p for some reason. I mean, I've changed the settings and should be streaming now at a confident at least 720, but I'm aiming for 1080. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. Okay, there's the correction. We'll see what happens for the rest of that. It's a bit awkward to go into any of this really after such a big move. The market needs to breathe again and recalibrate, as I would like to say. Let's just see what we can get. Okay, we've zoomed in enough on that one. Where are we at? EuroCAD. Yeah. I just don't know if I can trust any of it, to be honest. I know I don't know what the candle's called, but we've pretty much just long whipped with no body, which generally is a sign of like the peak and reversal. But we are slightly hitting into, it's not really a range point. It's a bit of a pivot point there. I'd say they're a bit rough guided. This is definitely a good bottom line. So if we are going to come back down, I expect we'll only come down to here to retest. I think I'm all right. I'm not going to try it. Being so flat, especially for most of the day yesterday. We'll see. But yeah, Euro news come out at 8 o'clock as well. 9 o'clock, sorry. Which is obviously seemed quite bad for the euro. Bad for euro, bad for SHIF, but obviously worse for the SHIF, the old Swiss franc. Yeah, USD is having a little turnaround point. USD pairs, Euro USD, similar sort of thing. Pound USD. Another JPYs, but again, 6 o'clock news. Oh, 3:45 that is. So yeah, get it right. We had a good up. There's a lot of relief going on. I nearly entered a few of these longs, to be honest, because I did get an entry signal here, given that the faith was already blue, already white histogram. But for me, I felt like it had been in there too much. The move had already started. I didn't want to try and capitalize, and I could have easily got, let's see, that would have been a 1.5, wouldn't it? Just would have been 1.5. So I literally would have peaked out just before the news on that. But given that I was away from the desk, I didn't want to risk something. Would have made money, would have closed a trade, full trade, so signals were correct, but you just got to work out how you feel and what you want to do in it. Okay, so still having the correction, This is the USD anyway, so USD correction up. And that's still pushing down, which means that the Swiss has got stronger again. And this is where we're at. So we got close to that limit point that I'd drawn in. Or I feel like the target might have been. We've had the drop off because of the news, so it's potential that we're going to have a recovery up, make another little higher, and then bounce back down again. As to how far it goes, whether it breaks, false breakout, and then corrects back down, time will tell. Okay, so Aussie has recovered, come back into, effectively its slow down trend. I've had a little bit of a berserk, but you can see how it's like surged, tried to recover, carried on, surged. So I think I'm all right for that one at the minute. We're just going to have to be very cautious with our trades today if we take any. I just never like it when we have such a big move like that. Especially now, because if you look, that's hit my resistance box and it's long wicked and it's started to push back down again. But then it could bounce on this downtrend line, correct and come back up, and we could end up ranging. Ranging markets are always horrible to trade on. Again, I think we're just too close to the big move to really get a good read. I'd love to have been at the desk for that. Well, because even if you missed the first move, you know that the news was that bad that you could have just... Anyway, no point dwelling. I think we're there. Let's just sit and chill for a bit. Listen to some vibes. Not sure how long I'll stream for today. But again, after changing some settings, I'll have to review the footage and see how things go. See if we can get better than like blurry 480s. I mean, I'd be happy with 720, but I just want it so that you'd be able to read up here, so you can see what pairs I'm on. Just feel like it's very small. It's possibly because I'm downsizing, because I'm on a large wide screen and I'm scaling down to 1080. I've got to use the scaling and the bit rates and all that sort of whatever nonsense that goes into it, of which I'm not fully sure. And plus I'm doing it through an OBS rather than stream straight or being live straight from YouTube. Right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I remember to unmute this time, so that's good. Unlike last time. Okay. So we are nearly there for 10 o'clock. Let's have a look on the hourly and see what we've got going on the charts, obviously, with the news in the last hour. So expect some big candles on long wicks as there's corrections going on. Look at that, it's perfectly touched as well. On the wick, not the body, obviously. I feel like we've potentially broken that channel now. Okay. Holding that range there, clearly. I might just chuck a box on that. We'll do it from there. It's almost a very similar mirror to the previous pair. Okay, yeah, look at that. Huge move at 8. Wow, that's quite a big correction to make it all that way up, to come all the way back down again. So, yeah, pushing back. Where are we at on this? Potentially could redraw that. I feel like we could go from that top there. Feels more true to the following of the trend, or at least the resistance line. It's not really on a trend, is it, so much? It's not a huge downtrend, but it's that resistance line that it's found. In a range, great fun. A lot of the markets are doing that at the minute, I feel. That's a big pivot point there. Topped out and dropped down. I think what I'm going to do, chuck in a horizontal on that one as well. Just touch points in between, touch points in between. And that broke it, but still touch points in between. Where do we reckon here? It's probably, we'll leave that for the time being. Jeez, look at that wick. Had some wild times yesterday afternoon. That's also why when you get big candles like we've had this morning, you don't always just jump in on them. Sometimes they carry on. Sometimes they have a big correction. I remember that actually when I was watching that yesterday with the news that come out. Just jerked, bang, almost like a full tick. So again, shift's having a correction. JPY similarly, I suppose. I think I'm going to drop that box out. Interesting that it's made it pretty much to there. Can we get the edge arrow? Yeah. Okay. Let's just extend these for a minute. Okay, yeah. It's certainly following him. I just feel like it's very small on your screen for what you would watch. I'm just wondering whether it's because my screen is large from the way that it's trying to downsize it. I've tried to zoom it in more, but let's have a look. Let's see if I can do it anymore. We might have to lose the indicators off the bottom. Where's the edge of the screen? It's there. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Just means you can see, hopefully you can see a little bit more. You can read the text a lot more, a lot easier. Okay, let's lock that back in. That's fine. We've just got no indicators on the bottom. If I set my toolbox on the edge of the screen. There we go. And then I know as long as I'm past that point, we'll be fine. Cool. It's just I've got a third of my screen with no chart on it, which is fine. Hopefully that looks all right. I'll obviously find out when I re-watch this back. So we'll see. Boom, 10 o'clock. We didn't get through on the 4 hours, full checks, but let's have a look, see what the market's up to quickly, see what signals, if any. Pretty sure not, because we're just on recovery at the minute, so everything's still going to be going against the grain. Yeah, as expected, really. So yeah, it's full list. It's just unfortunate, really. I mean, I could have been, if I was at the desk from this morning, so I got a trade in this morning, like I said. I got lucky. I didn't get lucky necessarily, but I chose to exit early because I saw the steam running out, should we say. I'm glad I did, because that would have just literally, in like a minute, I think that just went plummet, bang. I was sitting in the car at that point, not even on the charts. So I'm very pleased with that. I exited. what we're expecting on 4 hours. Hard to see really. No real clear winner on that one, is there? I mean, that is actually now a support line, the top of that. So if we can break through that, we'll potentially end up in this range again anyway. False breakout on the trend line. Wonder how many shorts that caught. Yeah, I'm not confident about any of that, to be honest. That wasn't a bad trade down on this one. It was on a lower time frame, but this candle, you can see it's got a longer wick on it. This one here has got a longer wick on it. So it broke but didn't break through, similar to this one. It came down and the wick was just above the lowest wick here, so it held the trade and then broke through. So that's a couple of candles early, a couple of hours. Given that we're on a 4-hour time frame, it's a good few hours early. But still, decent enough trade in that one. In fact, we are at that level again, aren't we? Interesting. I'm going to get rid of that. Box it or line it? Let's line it. I might have to change the colour actually. I might change them to yellow because they just stand out a lot more. I feel like that would be a better idea. Yeah, let's go with yellow. Dark colour on a dark background is probably harder to see. Alright, so what are we looking at? A little retest, push down. Let's go back to the hourly. Let's finish what we was doing. Aha. Yes, yes, yes. I know words. I know I'll never go through the full chart. I'll get there eventually. Okay, so we are pivoting around that point. It's potentially expected to go back up as recovery, but then it could just be, it will feed back up. I'm pretty sure I just did all that off screen. I did. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, just looking left from here. Oh, it's really. I'm gonna have to try and work out that so that I can. Really want to get a line down my screen. Like I'm losing like, I don't know, a third of my screen. So I can zoom in. We'll see what it's like when we finish streaming. Or whatever. Actually, that was an entry, wasn't it? On the hourly, look. That was potential false entry, or it's only going to come up to here anyway, because look, we've got resistance to the left here. Definitely small resistance, but it's still there. 3-second box set. So I was just moving it. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Something like here. Oh, why not line it up? So even if it broke, I mean the wick kind of made it there, the wicks have kind of made it there. I feel like even if it broke out, we've got a lot of traffic to get through. It's not exactly fresh air, is it? I mean, the only other thing I could do is because from where I'm sorry, I'm just pondering about the screen. I mean, you don't need to see the far right hand side anyway because it's just got my list of pairs and stuff. But every time I do this, it scrolls off. All I'm doing is zooming in because I keep forgetting to hold the control. So it zooms off the screen, and I'm still looking at it, but obviously you're not seeing it. That's not really helpful. I just don't know how much I trust that as a valid entry, to be honest. We've probably got an inch, yeah, like, so you've got a signal here. I mean, it's grey on the faith, but white above the volume line, it's blue. Everything all ticked at the same time to the right, not that you can see that. Well, what a shambles. Oh, that's probably quite loud, sorry. I have no idea how the music is either, to be honest. I'm hoping it's quiet enough. It's definitely quiet in my ears, that's for sure. Oh, it does record that. It's from the web page. Okay, cool. So we can look at the news at least. Next lot's midday for Great Britain. Quite a bit of impacts today and tomorrow, actually. So maybe midday news is the place to be. What's going on with the GPs? I mean, this is just beyond a joke. Let's go on the daily. Great British USD. When was the last time it was this low? Probably never. Going by this support line, I definitely feel like it's going to come down to here before we have a correction back up. And then maybe we'll get back up to the 130 something because that's where there's a slight bit of business. But knowing us, it will bounce to here, hit resistance, hit resistance, hit resistance, rather than just come back up. We'll see. We'll see if the banks step in, shall we? So to think, this is on the daily. Let's see if we can, let's go weekly. It's not even loading. All the way back to 2002. That's just unreal, isn't it? So I drew this in yesterday. Can't remember if it was on stream or not. You can't see it. I drew this in yesterday. So this is from 2002. You can see it's like, yeah, this is great fun. And then ever since that point, God, look, that's such a big drop at the time, isn't it? November 07, February 09. So for 2 years, it just plummeted. Christ. And since then, it's just never recovered. Big time range in. And you can see here, this top was this top, which is this busy period, which is that bottom for support. 144 by the looks of it. It's a very key value. As a matter of fact, it started around 144, 145.6. There you go. That would explain. So that's probably true value. True value 144, 145. interesting to know. Great British Pound with the Aussie. Calling that for a gap jump. We are bottoming out there, aren't we? Oh, we are right there. Does that line up with anything as a resistance? Not particularly. It's close. I mean, we're on the weekly, so it's hard. It's hard enough to kind of gauge. I might actually put a box. You can't even see anything. I keep forgetting. I've got to get used to looking at the left of my screen. Excuse me. Here you go again, look. So when's that from? Again, the O2. I'd say that is a very strong Dune trend. Pretty much. Tapping those tops has been all the way down since, isn't it? Let's whack that one there. That's not quite on it, but delete that one, make this one nice and yellow. I think we're at the point. Anyone trades on weeklies, like we are at a break point. So let's count the wicks or count the candle body. See where the trend kind of lies for support. I'm going to go with count body and wicks in that manner. Because it's weekly, it's a little bit. I mean, we are definitely getting to some sort of crucial point with the British pound, aren't we? I mean, at least the Japanese yen's off. Well, oh my god. Don't you love looking at a bit of history? Look at this. 1974. Jesus. Looking at that, it's like looking at crypto. Whoa. I don't know what I'm doing there. Still on the weekly though. Look at that, look. When did I start trading? Alright, that's enough of that. We've gone through the top pairs on my list. I might go through the other ones at a later stage. For now, I'm just going to sit. Let's go down to 15s. Here we go. Make the chart nice and big. I'm wondering how like grainy and pixelated it's going to be from just when I was doing that weeklies with it all zoomed in or zoomed out. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Yes. It's not bad, not bad. Little playlist, sitting there bopping. Jesus. What are we doing? We'll have a little check through on the 15 minutes at 10:30. Right, let's have a little quick butcher's through then. Yeah, as expected, to be fair. I'm probably going to be sitting here until the news comes out at midday, and then whether we can react to it or not, who knows. I mean, I feel like it's definitely going down. It's got a lot of resistances to go back up, as we've just discovered. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything for half past either, to be honest. Okay. Let's have a little look. Oh, I need to, let's, just going to create something quickly. Why is that not working then? Oops. Good enough, right? Okay, next candle, 10:30. Oh, that's not what we need to do. Oh, crud it. I've just botched it now. Whatever. Let's just have a quick look. Right, I hope it's fine. Remove. Right, let's do that and that. Oh, what one do I want? 2 and 4. Okay, let's see if that does anything. So I'm just trying to create a little screen overlay banner. I want to go for a new one. Let's find that image. There. Let's adjust the size on that successfully, clearly. I wonder if it's because it's stretched. Which is why it's a little bit. I mean, it looks all right. For a quick mock it up, chuck it together type thing. I just don't feel like it's not full screen, is it? No, I didn't think it was. Okay, so we got a bit of movement anyway from where we're looking. Let's just have another quick through. We've got 10 minutes anyway until the next one. We're starting to get some corrections back, some sort of indicators, signals that are sort of confirming to say RSI's moving on some of them, which is good. We've hit that point. It's just whether we're going to bounce and carry on, or if we're going to bounce and not bounce and just break straight through it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's flattening out, in all honesty, which would make sense around that point. It's very fat lined on that point anyway. There you go, it's my full list. Excuse me. $12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Okay, so I've got nothing there. I've got 10 minutes until 12, maybe 11. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take. I've got to make a drink and stuff like that and just top up with fluids. And yeah, we'll be right back. There we go. Beverage and snack acquired. Right. Just double check. I'm pretty sure nothing come up through for the last 15 minutes. Yep, in the range. Uncertainty. I mean, to be fair, I could have traded that back up. I knew it was going to go back up. I said it was going to go back up, but it's just not worth the risk sometimes. See, that's going to be, but I reckon that's going to go possibly to here before it bounces again. Let's run a dummy on it. I'm not going to enter the trade, but let's run a dummy. Where would I put stop loss? Just to sort of to the trend line. It's also in line with this sort of support area. So it's only a 1-to-1 3 in it. 1-to-1, 2, 3. Yeah, nah, not even to watch it. Interesting. Skipped one, there we go. Yeah, I just don't like the markets today. Got no real interest coming in. Let's have my snack. It's a banana that won't peel. There we go. Need to get tissue. Grab some sort of napkin. Right. So sit and wait for some interest, I suppose. Hmm. It's definitely going. There you go. We'd be in profit, see? Could have traded that. Probably should have. I spotted it was going down a while back. I say a while back, it was about this time here. What was it? 9:45, 10 o'clock, I was looking at it. Never mind. Yeah. Now I'm like, oh, I should have taken it. I saw it. It's a shame, innit? But it has broken it. You knew it was going to go. Pretty sure the hourly. Was it this one that gave me a long? Yeah, let's see. I mean, you would have made money on that. Let's see. If we would have entered here, I don't know where stop loss would be. I probably would have targeted this range. Stop loss would either be here or here. So either way, we would have made money on that, but it's going against the trend, so you don't often trade that. Depending on how strong it is. But there's a reason why you don't take that without necessary confirmations, because it can always correct back up and stay on this level and then come back up and down and up and down and up and down. So I'm just not confident enough. There it goes. So what's it going to do? What do we reckon? We're on the 11 o'clock. Let's check. Potential signal coming through? No. Yeah, everything is just having a slight correction. USD's gone back up after that initial. Same sort of thing here. It's amazing how similar all of the charts looks. So you've got long and correct, long and correct. Pretty much the same, but going the opposite way. It's like a mirrored. Although the correction is nowhere near as sharp because we found a bounce support line. Down, correct. And then there you go, there's another support. There's another one, it's not as big. Up and downs, down and ups. Similar sort of thing. And it's quite funny how it all kind of trades symmetrical. I also find it funny how Great British CAD has just not been affected by any of it. Okay. So it's only British USD, which obviously would be affected because the USD has been affected. So it's just the Canadian dollar Canadian and Australian, that hasn't really been too affected. Let's have a look at some crypto. Jesus, look at that. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Look at those mirrors. It's not even a mirror, it's just a copy. Pure clone. Yeah. So look at the indexes. Going well, yeah, lovely, lovely, yeah. Some big moves this morning. All over the place. I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I caught the trade this morning because it's all pretty quiet so far. Back to the waiting game. Pardon me. Yes. Kind of expected the market to be a bit like this after the news, to be fair. Let's see. Why has this not come on? Yeah, just not enjoying it. Oh, there you go. So we did have the correction. Yeah, it's kind of expected. Everything's just trying to go after such a big move. The market, similar to me, people waiting. Kind of getting re-entries. So let's just actually have a look and see what the says. JP. Clearly good for you. Yeah, okay. Swiss franc. Canadians. Aussies. American. British. And then Europeans. Yeah. They all look the same as all the other charts, to be fair. All right. What time was it? 12, wasn't it? 12 o'clock for the British. So it's just under an hour away. Just wondering whether I'll get an entry beforehand. And then would I take it? Probably not. It's definitely getting strength, isn't it? Let's go in that little British. I'm not going to take anything. Definitely not going to take anything on the British. The pound, the British pound. Right, quick check. On the hour. On the hour. Not quite on the hour. Nearly getting a 1/4 past. Any fresh signals? It's all ranging still. That's doing the same. It's the same. I'm definitely not that interested. I know not much has changed, but I just don't know whether to commit to this. I just don't know whether to commit to it or not. Like, it's in its uptrend. Oh, I don't want to move the line. Potentially could. Let's just get it to touch there. I mean, it's not going to make much difference, is it really? Even if we put it to here, if we put it on that line, yeah, I'm just going to say no for now. I mean, I feel like it could correct and come back up to this touch point. We'll see how the USD's doing. So, yeah, well, but we know CAD's got no movement today, really, have we? Because, like, unaffected, pretty much unaffected. Old CAD, more affected than I expected. Yeah, so potentials. It's got potentials. I just feel like we've missed a lot of the start of it. So that by the time we get to here and we consider entering, we've got nowhere to go for our target. And this is the swing low, really, that it could correct back to after hitting that. So you'd have to wait for it to break through. By the time it breaks through, you're again at a sort of possible turning point. And you're too close to that, so you've missed it. This is the way that I'm going to see that. Again, no real entries. Patience, discipline. Accept that you don't get every entry and every exit in terms of top and bottom. Even the indexes, yeah. Well, let's just sit and watch this one. Ooh. Riveting stuff today, though, which is a good thing, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, so, I mean, to be honest, the dull markets and stuff, I think I might end the stream. I'm going to take early lunch so that I can be back on the markets for midday. Just to see what happens with this high impact. Yeah, I think we're going to go for that